Welcome, yogis. It's Kim. We are going to need a few props today. So you'll want 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, some nice solid books will do. Ideally something with a little bit of weight to them. And then we'll want a strap. And so if you don't have a strap, a long belt or a tie, or if you're taller, you can tie a couple of ties together or grab a piece of rope or something. So when you've got all those ready, we're going to start in tabletop for just a second. So come around onto the hands and knees here. Set up the wrist right under the shoulders. Let's go ahead and spread the fingertips and grit through the upper fingertips a little bit. And then from there, push away some. So instead of collapsing the heart, we open up with a little strength. Set the knees under the hips. And then gather a little bit through the low belly. So we've got this little push, so we open up through the back of the heart. The gaze is straight down. We've got a little gather through the low belly. We're going to try to isolate the right glute here. So keeping the right knee bent, lift the right leg. So you'll notice that my spine is staying neutral. I can get the leg higher by sinking down, but that's not the action we're going for. So go ahead and be honest, find that strong, steady, neutral spine, lift the right leg with the knee bent, fire through the glute, and then a little movement, stamp the right foot up towards the ceiling, and then release it. Stamp it up, release it. Stamp it up, release it. Stamp it up, release it. And then stamp it up, release, round the spine, bring the knee to the nose, push the earth away, open back of heart, and then come back. Set the right knee next to the left, cat-cow the spine once. Inhale, pull the heart through, tilt the tailbone up. Exhale, scoop, tuck, round, push. And then come back to center here. So reset that spine. Push through the arms, open back of heart, knit through the core, and then solidify that. Lift the left leg straight back. Go and be honest with yourself, even if it's a little bit humbling here. You'll feel the left glute turn on. Stamp the left foot up towards the ceiling. Release a little bit. Stamp the left foot up towards the ceiling. Release a little bit. Stamp it up. Release. Stamp it up. Release. Stamp it up, release, stamp it up, release. One more, stamp it up. Bend the knee in towards the nose, round the spine, push the earth away. And then bring the left knee next to the right, one cat-cow. Inhale, open. Exhale, tuck and round. And then come back to center here. Tent the fingertips. We'll just scoop up this right leg, set it between the hands here, and move a little bit backwards and forwards. So extend the right knee as you go back, and then really melt the hips forward. I'm even going to let my knee go beyond. I've got a little weight in the fingertips. We're just moving through those extremes. Remember, this is your own body. In no way does it have to look like anything specific. We're more sort of going for the feeling of this. Good. Bend the right knee, stack it over the ankle. You can scoot this left knee in some if you need to get it under the hip. Lift up from here. Scoop the pelvis under. So this active scoop. And then lift the left arm up here. Tuck the left rib in. Reach up and over towards the right. Keep that active scoop. And then inhale, lift back up, sprinkle the left fingers all the way down on the mat. Reach the right arm up and over. Keep that little scoop of the pelvis here. And then come back up from here. Heel toe, or sprinkle a fingertip to the floor. Heel toe the right foot to the middle. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Wing this right knee out to the side. So funky lizard, we're on the pinky toe side of this right foot, and you're going to stay active in the ankle. And then we just move through the hips. So anytime we're moving through things, really syncing your breath with it. Maybe we start to go up and down here. You can use the pulsing of the elbows to help. Maybe we start to exaggerate, keep breathing, and extend the right knee some as we do this. Good. Lift up, extend the right knee, open back of heart, plant the sole of the right foot down, high on the back toes. Round, flex the spine, and then lengthen the spine from here. Pull the hips back in space. Kind of ground into the back foot. Lift the arms. So we're kind of floating in this big pyramid. Plug in with the core. Good. And then bend both knees, back knee down. Interlace the fingers, pointer fingers extend. Lift up, press the hips forward. And then split the hands, cactus the arms, drag the shoulder blades towards each other, and then drag them down. Like you pinched a little something back there, something you really like, and then you want to drag it down and stick it in your back pockets. Lift the hips, come back up to center, sprinkle the fingertips down. We'll open back of heart, pluck this right foot up, set the knee. We'll find the other side. If you need a little movement or two first, take it. Tent the fingertips, pluck the left foot up, step the left foot between the hands. It just scooches if you didn't make it. And then we'll extend this left leg, and then we'll bend the knee as far as you can so that we really open through the front of this right hip. Extend the left knee, bend, extend the right hip. Moving through this back and forth, moving with the breath. And then bend the left knee. You can bring this right knee up, so now it's underneath of the hip. We'll pluck the torso up from here. Scoop the pelvis under, left hand can go into the thigh. So the active scoop, lift the right arm up, and then you'll reach up and over towards the left. If you need this left hand on the right rib to make sure it's not flaring and out, do so. Breathing into the whole side body, keep the active scoop of the tailbone, of the pelvis, and then lift back up. Sprinkle the right fingertips to the earth, lift the left arm up. We're going to go up and over, again breathing into the side body, keeping that little scoop. And then lift back up to center, fingertips to the earth, heel toe the left foot, so it's right in the middle of the mat, right between the hands. Tuck the back toes if they're not, pluck up the back knee. Wing this left knee out, so my shin is behind my forearm. The knee wings out, the ankle stays really strong, and we're moving. Moving into the hip, linking it with the breath. And then maybe we start to pulse up and down. You can use the arms to help out. Maybe this left leg starts to extend more and more. We start to exaggerate this movement. And then extend up at the top. Open the back of the heart, set the sole of the foot down, high on the back toes, bow down, round the spine for a moment, and then lengthen the spine. So we find the difference there. Square the hips, power through the legs, float the arms up, reach them forward, plug in with the core here. Good. And then from here, lower both knees down. We'll lift the arms, interlace the hands, pointer fingers extend, lift the arms overhead, and then melt the hips, lift the heart upwards, up towards the ceiling. And then split the hands, cactus the arms, bring the shoulder blades towards each other, and then drag the shoulder blades down. Think about still lifting up from the low belly. And then coming to center, closing that off. Sprinkle the fingertips down, open back of heart. Pluck this left knee back. Set the hands back down. We want the eyes of the elbows to be able to wrap forward to a degree. And that wrap's coming from this shoulder. So if you know you're tighter in the shoulders, let the fingers angle out slightly. So find your hand setup that allows you to wrap the elbows forward, sit bones back, tuck the toes, and then lift up and back. Take a breath here in your downward facing dog. Good. From here, inhale, lift the right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, round the spine, come forward, knee towards nose, push, step the right foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down, lift the torso and arms up. Gather through, so scoop the pelvis, gather in and up through the low belly, lift up through the heart here. Cactus the arms, drag shoulder blades together and down, and then re-extend the arms, interlace the hands, bend the elbows, re-extend the arms, good. Straighten the right leg, bow down here for a moment. Re-lift up, left hand can come to the thigh, pluck up this, sorry, that's right hand. Pluck up the left foot, grab hold of the left foot behind you. Encourage it in towards the sit bone. See if you can get the top of the hand on the foot and the elbow to start to face backwards. May not go all the way, that's fine, but we're wrapping that shoulder blade back. Now you'll notice your belly started to kind of collapse forward to create the space. Scoop the pelvis. So the foot may have gotten further from the tush here. Square the hips, but we got that bigger openness. Release without flinging. Take a moment, hands to prayer, like you're firing the hamstring. Squeeze the foot in towards the butt, and then back toes down, lift the back knee. Take a breath. Good. Bend the left knee till it just sort of taps, and then re-extend, reach the arms overhead, lift the heart. Bring the hands to prayer, bend the left knee so it taps. Lift arms overhead, extend left knee, open heart. Hands to prayer, tap left knee, extend, open heart. Hands to prayer, bend back knee, extend, open the heart. And then bring the hands to prayer at center, leave the back knee up, straighten the front leg, link through the side waist. Bow down, big pyramid. Warrior 3. Soften the right knee. Pluck this back leg up. Now bring the hands to the either the earth here or to one or two of your blocks. Level out the hips. And then refine that neutral spine. Bend the left knee so the sole foot faces up. We've already sort of been here, right? If you want to come higher, that's fine. Just find that engagement of the glutes. Tap the left foot up towards the ceiling. Release a little. Tap the left foot up towards the ceiling. Release a little. Tap the left foot up towards the ceiling. Release a little. Tap the left foot up towards the ceiling. And then step the left foot next to the right. Shake it out a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, open slightly through the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. I'll cue knees, chest, chin. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step, step back, and then knees go down, chest and chin goes down. So the tush is high. And then untuck the toes, baby cobra, hip points on the ground, drag those shoulder blades down back, press the tops of the feet down. Exhale, up and back, think about the hand position, the arm shoulder position, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the thigh to the belly. Come forward, round the spine, knee towards nose, push. Step the left foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Lift and open through the front body here. Melt the hips. Lift up. And then exhale. Come to center. Half splits. Straighten the left leg. Bow down. And then bend the front knee. Left hand on the thigh. Pluck up this right foot. Reach back. Grab hold of it. Now we're trying to plug this right shoulder blade into the back body. So that's what's going to make this elbow start to wrap backwards. And you may have the hand sort of on the top of the foot. Just a maybe. Now as we did all of that, we started to sort of open and collapse forward. So let's gather in, re-square. Think about that scoop of the pelvis forward. So in theory, you got a nice extra lengthening through the front of that hip. Breathing. Fire through the right hamstring and see if you can release without flinging. Bring the hands to prayer. Squeeze that foot in towards the butt there. Good. And then release, back toes down. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee up. Square here. Reach the arms overhead, open up through the heart, and then cactus the arms, bring them together and down, and then re-extend, hands up here, interlace the fingers, pointer fingers extended, and then bend the elbows, and then re-extend, bring the hands to prayer, tap the right knee down, extend the back knee, arms overhead, open the heart, exhale, hands to prayer, right knee down. Inhale, extend everything, open heart. Exhale, hands to prayer, right knee down. And then extend, lift, open through the heart. Exhale, hands to prayer, back knee down. Inhale, lift back up. Last one. Hands to prayer, tap back down. And then lifting back up. Hands to prayer, straighten the left leg. Come up high on the back toes. Hinge with a long spine. Pluck this back foot up. Warrior 3. Bring the hands either to the earth or to your blocks. Square through the hips here. All those little right toes start facing the earth here. And then bend the right knee. So we've found this really plugged in neutral spine. We're engaging the core. We're engaging through all of those spinal stabilizers, and then use that right glute to stomp that right foot towards the ceiling. And then release. Stomp the right foot towards the ceiling. And then release. Stomp the right foot towards the ceiling. And then release. Stomp the right foot towards the ceiling. And then release. Stamp the right foot towards the ceiling. Release. Last one. Stamp. And then release. Right foot next to left. Bow down here. Release for a moment. Inhale. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale. Hands down. Step back. Lower knees. Chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra, open through the heart. Exhale, push back up like we're going to tabletop, hips over the knees here, and then walk to puppy. So walk the hands forward here, start to melt the heart down. Now if you're bendy, it was really easy to get the chest down. So let's try to plug in through the low belly and bring some stability to this. If the chest didn't come down, for me it certainly doesn't, the chin or forehead can come down. You can also grab hold of something and set it underneath of the sternum. If you're extra bendy, I may encourage that also, just to make sure we're not going too far. So whenever you've kind of honestly chosen where you need to be, go ahead and breathe into the whole front body here. We want this openness, but we want it from this place of strength so that we can control this openness. Good. And then start to lift up. Walk the hands back. We'll reset downward facing dog. So think about what your arms are going to do. Tuck the toes, lengthen, lift up and back. We'll revisit our flow. We're going to add on, I think we
did some things in opposite orders last round, so we'll see if we can do them in the same order, but I promise we'll at least get all the elements. Inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, with control, step the right foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Lift the torso up. Reach back with the left hand. Grab hold of that foot. Hand on the top of the foot, maybe fingers down. Wrap that shoulder blade. Scoop the pelvis under. Square things forward. Option to lift the right arm up. Marriage proposal pose. Release without flinging. Straighten the right leg, half splits. Anjane, bend the right knee. Melt the hips forward actively. Lift up, interlace the fingers, and then press the palms. Bend the elbows, active shoulder blades, and then come back to neutral. Hands to prayer. Tuck the back toes if they're not. Lift up through the back knee. Now let's take a moment. We're going to need this later. Take one of your blocks, set it in line with the left leg, maybe like just behind the right heel. And the other block can just stay within arm's reach. So we won't need this yet, but we'll need it in a moment. Set up this lunge. First, bend the back knee so it taps, scoot the pelvis, and then extend arms overhead, open heart. Twice more. Tap back knee, hands to prayer, knit ribs, and then extend arms overhead, open heart. Last one. Tap back knee, hands to prayer, and then extend, lift up. From here, press palms, bend the elbows. Really get as active as you can. Keep the breath. Big pyramid. Exhale to lift back up. Straighten the front leg. Hands come to prayer. Bow down. Warrior 3. Shift the weight forward. Pluck your way up. I know it's work. Grab hold of this block, you guys. The one, not in the mat, the one that you just left free. Lift your way up to standing. So we'll take this block, and you'll probably want it this longer direction. You'll stick one in your thut, which is your thigh butt. A clever word I stole from a wonderful yoga teacher I know. Bring this left heel to the other side. So now we're holding on to it. Press this heel or this foot into the block. You will feel that hamstring fire. Take just a moment to feel that. And then start to tip forward some, shrimp squat. So you may want to extend the arms. We're going to try and tap the left knee to that block and come back up. We're going for 3 to 5 times. You can always adjust that block. So it can go higher, lower, it can move in space. So bend the right knee, come down. If you need to move the block, do. Tap it, oof, lift back up. Come down, tap the left knee, lift back up. Come down, tap the left knee, lift back up. Maybe that was good for you. Maybe you've got 1 or 2 more. In. When you're ready, come to standing. Release your thought block. Woo, walk it out. Take a breath. Set your block down. Standing here, space the feet a little wider than the hips. Soften the knees. Scoop the pelvis. Reach the arms overhead. Grab opposite elbows. Now we have different lengths, so some of you, your head may hit the upper arm. Some of you, it won't. Doesn't matter either way, because we want to use the shoulder blades to pull the forearms away from the head. And then, soft knees still, scoop the pelvis under and lift up through the heart. Just breathing. And then exhale, close it back off. Release a little bit. We need to go back, so move the middle of the mat block out of the way. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down. Step back, lower knees, chest and chin touches high. Inhale, full cobra, tops of the feet on the earth. Lift the hips, lift the thighs. Upward facing dog. Exhale, use the core. Up and back. Downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale with that push. Left foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Lift the torso. Bend the right knee. Reach back. Grab hold at the top of that foot. From here, wrap that shoulder back, elbow back, and then square the hips. Scoop through the belly here. So we got active, and that activeness got us more openness. Left hand can stay down. Left arm can go up. Whatever you chose, breathe. Release without flinging. Half split, straighten the left leg, bow down. And then bend the left knee, grab your middle of the mat block, set it in the middle of the mat, roughly at the back edge of the back heel. Tuck the back toes, lift this back knee up. So now we're in our lunge. Square things forward, hands to prayer. Bend the back knee until it taps, scoop. And then lift, extend knee, extend arms overhead, lift up through the heart. Hands to prayer, tap the back knee down. Extend arms and knee, lift the heart. Bend the back knee, hands to prayer, tap the knee down. Lift, extend arms and leg, heart up. And then from here, interlace the hands. Get a little higher, and then press the palms, bend the elbows. And then think about this, think about squaring the hips, lifting through the low belly, bending through the front knee, lifting up through the heart, and still breathing. And then lift your way back up, hands to prayer. Straighten the left leg. We're still high on the back toes as we bow down. Warrior 3. Soften the front knee. Oof. Pluck your way up. Good. Grab hold of this free block. Lift your way up to standing. So, take your free block. Goes in the thigh. So the right, back of the right leg, sort of between the thigh and the butt, where they meet. Take the right heel or ankle, grab hold of the other end of it. And then instead of just barely being there, press the foot into the block and feel the hamstring fire. And I talked a little bit last time, so now we just kind of have to breathe through this for a moment. If you feel yourself quiver, be proud of all the work you're going for. Shrimp squats. Hands can be a prayer. They can reach forward. Try to keep this thut block. Bend the left knee. Come down. If you need to adjust the low block, do. Oof, lift back up. Grunting helps you guys. Lower back down. Tap the block. Lift back up. Lower down. Tap. Lift back up. Maybe you have one or two more in you. If you lose the thought block, you just have to pick it back up. Working at your own pace. When you're done, release the thought block. Stand for a moment. Walk it out. Oh, lovely, you guys. Good, good, good. Let's set this block out of the way, and let's go ahead and grab hold of our strap or whatever you've set up. So we'll go to King Dancer. I really love King Dancer with the strap, as opposed to reaching back, which is still a lovely pose. But if we go overhead, we just get this really nice length through the whole front body. So we'll set this up the Eileen way, as I like to call it, as a reference to my teacher. So take your strap, take the ball of the right foot, and just step in the bottom of the strap. Now we'll crisscross. So we just crisscross the strap.
Walk the hands down just so that the arms are straight. Grab, hold, just with the fingers sort of forward. This is going to help you out a little bit later. Now, put the weight in the right foot, lift up this left leg, step it through, and then left foot comes to the earth. Now we're all set up. It's kind of this big rotate movement. So weight in the left foot, you can soften that knee, lift up the right leg, and then rotate up and around until the elbows face upwards. And then from here, I'm going to readjust just so you can see. But from here, you want to think about pressing those hips forward a little bit. So use the right glute to lift up. Press the hips forward some so we're not crunching the low back. And then use the back body strength to walk the hands down towards the foot some. Try not to let the right knee go out to the side. Try to square everything forward like we've done all class. Again, you can always bend that standing leg. This should feel good, you guys. If it doesn't, back out of it. This right here, while it's less pretty, still feels really nice in the body. When you're ready, just release with as much control as you can muster. If you want to shift the hips out, roll the shoulders. Take a big breath. We'll find the other side. So, take your strap, or your ties, or your belt. Sole of the left foot, the ball of the left foot goes in the strap. Crisscross once. Walk the grip down so the arms are straight with the fingers facing forward. So we're already starting to rotate the shoulders in that direction. We're going to continue. Shift the weight into the left foot. Pluck up the right foot, step it through, stick it on the earth. Now shift the weight into the right foot, bend the left knee, pluck up that foot. The arms obviously go along with it. And then from here, we rotate around through the shoulders. Keep going until the elbows face up. So again, think about firing through the glute and even the hamstring some and kick the pelvis forward some. And you can already see I'm starting to come out to the side. Try to square things forward. You can always bend this standing knee. So you can keep it nice and low. Chances are you're at home and no one's watching. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. If it feels good in your body to walk the hands towards the foot, that's fine too. Just breathe into whatever feels yummy here. Whatever feels like it's getting you this really healthy, yummy openness. Whenever you're done with it, you release your way out of it. And you take your little movements. Oh, lovely, you guys. All right, since we're really nice and open, we'll go through Urdhva wheel on our back, and then we'll shut down. So from here, let's make our way onto our butts, just in some sort of controlled manner. If your back is done, listen to it. Lay on your back a little bit in constructive rest, or take either an active bridge or a passive bridge. You've got your blocks. From your back body, walk the feet in. We've got hips, knees, and toes all in one direction. Now your bridge, you just press into the feet, you lift up. Restorative, set a block under the sacrum. Full wheel, hands by the ears, fingers are going to face towards the shoulders. Now all at once, we're going to press into the feet and the hands, fire the hamstrings, and lift up. Now again, this is like dog. If the shoulders are tight, rotate the fingers out a little bit. Not all the way out, just a little bit. Press into the earth. Lift the hips. Isometrically drag the feet towards the head. So press the feet, drag them towards the head. That'll fire your hamstrings some. Breathe into the front body. Now when you're done,
You can be here longer or not. When you're done, I find the easiest way to come out is to tuck the chin first and then lower down. Try to get the nape of the neck onto the ground and then see if you can roll out. You can always lift the heels. Roll out. Oh, take a breath here with the knees bent. Try windshield wipering the knees a little bit side to side. And then from here, scoop the tailbone, get the low back a little flatter, pluck up the feet, hands on the knees. Just trace some nice circles. Good. Let's interlace the hands, bring them around the shins, gather the thighs in. If you want to lift head, neck, and shoulders too, that's fine. And then let's just gently start to release a little bit of this. So extend the left leg towards the top of the mat. Keep basketing the right shin. Let's start by gathering it into the center. It's not all the way to the center, but it's going to lay on the right ribs here for a moment. Just gathering in. Breathing here, staying a little active through the left leg. This is a lot for the low back. Just bend the left knee. Set the sole of the foot on the earth. And now this right hip, open it up just slightly so it kind of drags out to the side ribs. And this knee goes up towards the armpit a little bit more. The feet are active. It doesn't matter what they're doing as long as they're not just flopping around. Let them be active. Start to lengthen the exhales. Leave the left hand on the left shin. Take the right hand, grab the right foot. So you can go big toe, you can go pinky toe side, half happy baby. So leave the right knee roughly in the armpit, lift the foot up so we stack roughly, what is that, an ankle over the knee. And the weight of the hand just grounds this down some. If you want to rock and roll a little bit, you can. If you want to extend and bend this right knee, you can. Pluck up the left leg. So the right knee goes to the right foot goes over to the left, active in the ankle. Set the right ankle on the left thigh. So if this is a lot, sole of the left foot goes to the earth, totally cool. That's no problem, that foot stays up. And you can bring the right hand in this little triangle, left arm around. You can either grab the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin. And we're not yanking, but we're just encouraging this stretch. The right knee can always wing. The right elbow can always wring this thigh away. We can always kind of rock around in this. We can always be still. Keep focusing on your exhale. And then gently release this. Two soles of the feet to the earth. Bend the left knee, extend the right leg, basket the hands around the left shin. And then active through the right leg, bring the left thigh into the chest, right here, into like the meat of the left ribs. Focusing on the exhale. We'll start to open this up just slightly. So hug this left knee out to the left side so it comes around to the left side ribs here. That knee starts to face up towards the armpit, still active somehow through the feet. Remember, if this is a lot for the low back, you just bend the right knee and put the sole of the foot on the earth. And then leaving the left knee
roughly in the armpit. Left hand grabs some part of the left foot. We start to lift the left foot up so that ankle just roughly stacks over the knee, and then we just let the weight of that hand kind of ground us down here, still active through that right leg somehow. You can always be still. You can always rock and roll a little. You can extend and bend some. And then lift the right leg, bend the knee, externally rotate the left hip so the left knee goes to the side. And then we'll capture this ankle with the thigh. The right foot can be off the earth or on the earth. And if it's off, that left hand can thread through this little triangle. Right hand comes around, either grab the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Supine figure 4. You can move or you can be still. Whatever you've chosen, focusing on the exhale. Release this. We'll rock and roll up. We'll just take a nice child's pose to get a little more release. So let's focus on the rock and roll up. Do it 2 or 3 times. Really try to round the spine so that we're hitting all of the vertebrae. You'll notice if it gets choppy, if your rock and roll gets choppy, that kind of focusing on that and working on smoothing that out will let you get to a few more vertebrae. Next time you come up, cross the ankles, roll onto the hands and knees, walk your way back. And this can be either knees together or knees wide. We're going to sit back on the heels. We're going to try to keep that as we walk forward. And then we just melt. So if the butt came up really high, you can stick a blanket here to help ground you. You can also take a prop and bring it underneath of the forehead. And it doesn't have to be a block. It can be a pillow. You can also do a pillow under the chest. That feels really nice as well. Breathe fully into the back ribs. Breathe fully into the back of the heart. Lift or roll your way up. One final close. One final pose to finish out. Diamond pose. Make your way onto your tush. Have a block nearby. If you know you tend to be tight, have a couple blocks nearby. Soles of the feet together, and in our Baddha Konasana, the feet come close. But in this, they're going to come further away, so you'll actually see a diamond happening here. Wide base. Let's start by hinging. So let's just start with that little spinal extension as we come forward, and then let's immediately get rid of this. Let the spine round. Maybe the forehead comes between the feet. Maybe it doesn't at all. If it doesn't at all, please do not overthink it. Figure out how to get the forehead on something. That's why you've got your props. They can go directly on the feet or kind of just inside, depending on where how the body is set up. And then this becomes a very passive pose. So we in no way are holding the feet here. The arms can go forward, sides, or back, but they are passive. The shoulders release fully, so if they come up into the ears when they release, that's okay because they're fully released. Breathe into the hips, breathe into the lower back.
Breathe into the mid-back. And breathe out everything. Continuing to focus on the exhale. When you're ready, be very gentle in walking your way up out of this. You can use your hands to help out. Let the head be last.
Grab hold of the knees and help them to unfurl this. And we'll just make our way into our resting pose. So grabs the backs of the thighs, roll your way onto the back body, extend the legs. You've got your couple blocks. If you want a little extra release for the low back, you can also do this with a blanket or a pillow. But since you've got the blocks nearby, you can set them under the knees. See if that feels good. Let the toes just sort of roll out to the sides. Let's take the arms next to the sides a little away from the body with the palms up. Just notice the sensation of the back body on the earth. Let it feel supportive. Let yourself feel safe in this space. And from that place of safety, allow yourself to fully surrender into this stillness. Please stay here for as long as you need. Thank you. Peace for the body, peace for the mind, and peace for the spirit.